And so all these things that should matter, I think in the life of a man don't seem to matter to him. It's all like, oh, well, it's all okay because he's rich. It's all okay because he's famous. It's okay because white people put him on TV. And I just really think that this is one of those things that really does drain us economically. And so when I was talking to Dr. Frazier, I said, I admire you because you've been married to your wife for 50 or 60 years. You've been consistent. You talk about ways that Black people can make ourselves better and stronger. You talk about ways that we can benefit by loving each other and helping each other. I see you spend your time you're almost 80 years old and you're going around the country speaking life into the Black community in such a positive way. So there's no way I would put a famous rapper, who has a bunch of money because white people put him on TV. I would never put him up next to a Dr. Frazier because to me, that's what solid men look like. All those men on that stage, every one of them, I can tell you, is solid in their own way. They're thoughtful, they're smart, they respect women, they love their kids, they care about their community, they care about good things in the world, right? And I don't know why we would somehow think that thug culture or violent culture or hip hop gangster get high, get drunk, go kill a Black person culture is somehow any form of Black excellence. That's not Black excellence because all the evidence is all around you, and it's an economic consciousness process because this is part of what's destroying your wealth. This is part of what when a guy comes along who doesn't care about himself and has no plan for the future except getting high and getting drunk and playing video games and killing people or whatever the hell people are thinking, your daughter is not gonna be in a good financial situation. She's not like Halle Bailey. She's not gonna do another Disney movie and make $10 million. Your daughter's gonna be on welfare with an STD and a bunch of kids and struggling and stressed out and unhappy and whatever. And it's just not to me that planning part, that relationship planning I think is something that kids have to be trained on because society's training them in all the wrong ways. And every piece of data out there shows that the breakdown of the Black family is one of, if not the leading cause of the breakdown of Black wealth. Right up there would be things like student loans. Again, another thing that white people sold to you that you somehow were led to believe was some sort of pathway to success, right? It was like they gave you a fake North Star that says go to college and go $100,000 in debt and we'll give you a nice job when you get out of here. You can come work for us. When you get out of school, you can come work for me, boy. And that's what we did. And now you've got all these Black college graduates who dedicated everything to their careers, gave everything to be good at your job. Like put more energy into being good at your job than you spent trying to be good for yourself. You put more energy into being good at your job than you put into learning how to be a good husband. It's crazy. I mean, we put more energy into being good at our job than we put into knowing how to properly raise our kids. We do. We do. And I'm sitting here thinking, what is so important about a damn job with a company that does not care about you that makes you feel that it's okay to sacrifice all the important things in your life? I don't get that. I don't get that. And so really, when you're talking about Black wealth, you have to have these cultural conversations. You have to say, I think, from an economic standpoint, again, I say this as a financial scientist, not just as a guy who's running his mouth, even though I am talking a lot. And this is a stream of consciousness, but I'm a financial scientist. I study these things the same way you study lab rats or the same way you study viruses in a lab. I can tell you that if you don't consciously think about these things, it just you just end up falling in the same trap. And then you sit here and you say, "Oh, it must be because I'm Black. I'm in this terrible situation because I'm Black." And that is true. You are in that situation because you're Black, because Black people are fed a certain recipe for self-destruction that really doesn't exist for anybody else. Let me take a quick little break. As I mentioned earlier, Dr. Frazier has spoken regularly at our All Black National Convention. The convention is going to be in Chicago, Illinois, a town called Lombard, right outside of Chicago. And if you'd like to join us, you can go to allblacknationalconvention.com. There is no convention like this anywhere. Of course, you're going to learn wealth. You're going to learn wealth better here than anywhere else. We bring in all the best economic experts around. But at the same time, you're also going to learn about health and relationships, and you're going to be around people who have the same values. This is why our conference is better than a lot of the other conferences. There's no other conference out here like this that I know of. I've never been to any. I created it because there was nothing like this where people could get together and say, let's really figure out who we are and figure out how to be the best version of ourselves without any interference from nonsense, right? So simple things like, do you want Black people to be healthier mentally and physically? If the answer is yes, this is for you. Do you want Black people to have better relationships with each other, with our kids, with our parents, with our spouses, with each other, just conflict resolution? If the answer is yes, then this is for you. If you want, do you want Black people to be wealthier and financially secure? Or, if that answer is yes for you, then this is the conference for you. That's literally our focal point. It's very simple core values. So really, honestly, we don't sit around and glorify rappers. I don't hate them. I've had rappers come to the convention, but they got to come correct. If they're not coming correct and they're coming with a bunch of BS, then we don't want you there. I told you, when Kanye wanted to come to the convention, I was really concerned about him coming in because I think he's got some mental health issues that are unaddressed, but he won't address them because because he's famous and he's rich, and he felt like I couldn't tell him anything. So I was like, get off my phone. I really don't want to talk to you.